want to make sure that I honor your time. So welcome everybody. Carrie, could you do me a favor and make sure that you record?
Done.
Awesome, thank you. Welcome everybody. My name is Alicia Gallegos Betters, and for those of you that know me, you know that I have the pleasure of being the Director of Educational Technology here at the San Diego County Office of Ed. And my co-pilot today is Ms. Carrie Lane, and she will be working in the background today, and I'm going to be working in the front. But do know that Carrie has my total permission to hop in and tell me I'm doing something wrong, tell me that I need her assistance. I've asked her to do that. So if she pops in, I love it. I'm so glad to have her as my co-pilot today. Okay, so let's just kind of set the ground rules. We're a small class. Please feel free and ask questions. And if I need to just go over something again, please feel free and say, hey, can you go over that again? Because we're all here to learn. So it is being recorded, and I'll show you in a minute where you can see the recording after it's done. All right, so I'm going to take a moment and just introduce you to the team. So again, I'm Alicia. We have Jessica. She's not here today. Carrie is here. She's my co-pilot. Pamela Rabin, who many of you have taken classes with her. And last but not least is Chris Garcia, who is, he did the parent series. He did the parent class last night. I do want to show you where you can see different all the different professional developments that we offer. So Carrie is going to be sending the link out for this. And when you click on the link for our website, you'll see right here, we have our resources for you, and they all go here. Since this week is our first real week of doing professional development, we haven't put down all of the YouTube links, but all the YouTube links will be attached here as well. So if you have done one of ours or you haven't done one and you want to do it, this is where you would get to see it. Okay, so that is right here on the website. So once you click to the website, you then go to, I'll demonstrate for you again. You then go to the calendar of events, and then you can sign up for all of those. All right. Now, the other thing that I want to show you is that if for whatever reason you want to look at something from last year, you can always click on our YouTube channel. We do have a YouTube channel with all of the other SDCOE, but if you go down here, you'll see educational technology and all our professional development that we've done over the years, you'll find it here. So if you wanted to see, oh, how do I make a Bitmoji, and you don't want to wait for a class that we do, you can look at it right there. If you wanted to see some AI information, again, you can find it there. So I've linked for that here for you as well. Okay, so some of you may be attending to get university credit. Here is the information for that university credit. It's all on this slide. Okay, so if you're interested in that, you have that slide deck. You'll be able to find it there. And then last but not least, I will be going through, these are your job aids for today. So our slide deck ends right here, and I'm going straight into Google Docs and Google Drive. So if you click here, you'll get to our Google Drive, the job aid. And this one is Drive, and you can print that out when you're ready. And then if you click here, you're going to get Google Docs, and you can print that out for you. And then it becomes yours. You can make notes on it, whatever. But do know I'm going to be following pretty closely on these. All right, before we start, do I have any questions?
Alicia, should I put the sign in as well?
Yes, if you could put the sign in, that would be great. All right. So what we're going to do today is we're going to start off with our Google Drive. And Google Drive is, I'm using our kind of playground one that I haven't used in a really, really long time. So let me get it occupied. Let me get it organized so I can see. Okay. I like it to look like this. Now, raise your hand if you can see Google Drive on my screen, or give me a thumbs up or whatever it is that, so I know. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. So the document that we're going to be kind of going through is going to be this one that says Google Drive on top. All right. So do me a favor and in our chat, please let me know about how you feel. Do you feel like you know Google Drive? Give me like, are you a novice? Are you an expert? Are you an emerging leader in it? Where are you with it? That would be great, just so I could kind of get a feel of where everybody is. Emerging, awesome. You're in the right place. Basic, basic, emerging, basic, basic, intermediate. Still learning basic. Awesome. Okay, good. It seems to me like everybody is in the right place then. So this is our workspace. And the way I like to describe Google Drive, I have been teaching for a very, very long time. I started teaching in 1991 and I taught in Carlsbad. Carlsbad was my district. And when I started teaching, I had a veteran teacher who kind of took me under her wing. Her name was Mrs. McGee. And Mrs. McGee had a file cabinet. And it was a very big file cabinet. It had some rust on the bottom, and it was just those old-fashioned file cabinets. But inside the file cabinet, what she had is she had hanging folders. And inside there, she had manila folders. And then she had papers. And it was stuffed to the brim. And I never used anything in there because it made me nervous. There was too much stuff in there. Now, I want you to think of Google Drive as that potentially overstuffed file cabinet. So it could be very overwhelming, but I'm going to kind of show you some tricks, some tips and tricks that you can do with it so you don't feel overwhelmed and you use it to its capacity. All right. So this is our drive. And again, I want you to think about it as your file cabinet. And I'm going to give you kind of the overview of it. And if you look at it, the overview is on this page as well. So everything I'm saying, you can follow along in the book once you print it out, or you can see it at other times. Okay, so the thing that you want to notice first with this is you want to notice that in Drive, you have a couple different views. Here, when you first came in, I went to the top right-hand corner. So if you look right here in the top right-hand corner, you're going to see there's lines and you're going to see that there's squares. If I click on the lines, I'm going to get things in a linear fashion. And for some people, they like that. I actually really like that. But for some people, they're a little more visual. So they're going to see, if they click on those squares, the tiles, they're going to see everything in tiles. So you have two different views that you can really look at, which is nice. So if you are following along, just go ahead and kind of play with those, go back and forth, and you'll see the difference. Okay. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. The second thing I wanted to show you is your menu here on the side. And this menu on the side is kind of really important. So you have your home, you have your activity, you have your workspace. Those are good to know. But the meat of it is really my drive, shared drives, and shared with me. I use my drive and shared with me the most. So my drive is my own file cabinet. It's everything that belongs to me that I created. Shared with me are the things that people have shared with me. and they've given me access. So it's like the joint file cabinet. Think of it as the file cabinet that's in the teacher's lounge that everybody can just take the lessons out that they want. So it's the file cabinet that people are willing to share. The other one that's important is the recent. I use recent quite a bit because it's what I'm currently working on. So I can use that recent. And then you also have starred. And starred is sometimes if I want to get to something very quickly, I'll star it. You don't want to star everything. And when you're done with it, you want to take that star off. Okay, so you have those type of options, and I'm going to show you all that. Okay, so just take a couple minutes and click through, and you'll see that you have all of these different kind of areas of the file cabinet. And again, the one that I go to the most is home, but it's my drive. Any questions about that? And all of that is on this page, so you'll have access to all of that information. If I'm going a little fast, you'll have access to it. All right, the other important part I want to show you is here where it says new. So this new area allows you to create new docs, new sheets, new slides, new Google videos. This is a new one. Google Form, which is like the surveys, but it also has this one that says more. And that's where you'll find some other items that are in the Google Suite. So in my case, it's drawing, it's maps, and it's sites. For you, you may have some other ones in there depending on what your school districts allow you to have. So they are a lot of school districts used to have Jamboard in there before they got rid of Jamboard. Some people can go and connect to more apps, and I'm not going to get into detail with this because this is more of an advanced skill. But if you go to more apps, it takes you to the Google Marketplace. So that's something that you may want to explore that on your own, but do know that's there. So again, that is, you have docs, sheets, slides, videos, forms. And the more you have drawings, maps, sites, if your school district allows those. You may have classroom as well, so there might be some other things there for you. The other thing about this is you'll notice you can create a new folder here, which we're going to do in a little bit. And you can also upload a file or upload an entire folder. So if I want to upload a file, I can click here and it's going to ask me where would I like to upload this. So I do that search of the computer to upload. And if I wanted to just upload this service agreement, I'd click on it and go to open. And as you can see, it's uploading it right there in the bottom corner. Any questions about that? I'll walk through that again for you just so you can see. I would go to new, upload file if I had something. It will ask me, where is this file? So I'm going to do this screenshot. So I'm clicking on it, open, and look at the bottom right-hand corner of the computer because you'll see it upload. And then you see it's uploading right there. And there it is. Okay. So it's just a really easy way to upload things, to get things in. You can also drag things. So if I wanted to drag something in, this image, I can just click. I got this image off my desktop. I just clicked on it and I'm dragging it in. What you want to do is you kind of want to drag it so everything's highlighted, but you can drag it specifically to a folder as well. So if I wanted to put this in this Alicia's very important papers folder, I could just click there. And as you can see in the bottom right-hand corner, and if I click here, it is, let me find it where'd it go? It was it this one? No. I forgot what I called it. I'd have to find the one from today. Oh gosh, let me. So replacing the existing one. It's in there, but I'm not, oh, there it is. I'm sorry. I was looking right at it. It was uploaded at 4:16, so there it is. I just dragged it in. So kind of some easy ways to get things in here. How does everybody feel about that? Thumb up. Everybody feels good?
Did you
Hey,
have, I'm sorry,
yeah, of course.
you have to make a file, like a new folder when you were doing the new and the upload
You
the,
don't have to. No, no. So let me show you. If I just have this in my drive, and if I don't want to put it in a folder, all of these are all folders, but all of these documents right here are not in folders. They're just there. So if I wanted to pull something in and I don't want it to go into a folder, do you see how it's all blue?
yeah,
I'm just kind of putting it in there. But if
okay,
I want it to go to a folder, I can direct it directly to a folder.
right, cool.
Does it, does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Okay, good. All right. Any other questions about that? That's a good one. Thank you. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a folder. So creating folders are very easy. And why do you want to create a folder? You want to create a folder because it helps you be organized. Think about that file cabinet. Folders keep things organized. So you want to have a folder. So I'm going to go up here to our new. I'm going to click on new and I'm going to go down to new folder. All right. And again, all of this is in this document for you. Clicking on new folder, and I'm going to give it a title. This is where you want to be very, you want to really give a good title to it so you know what it is. So I'm going to call this Google Doc and Drive 2025. Okay. So what I could do, one thing that's wrong with this that I'm going to change is putting 2025 there. For organization, what I might want to do is put 2025 there because that way, if I do a sort, I could always maybe do it by year. If I have class periods, I could kind of sort it by year, that type of thing. So just be kind of be cognizant of how you are labeling your folders so it's a system that makes sense to you. And once I have a title that I like, I'm going to create, and there's my folder. Can everybody see that? So there's my folder. Okay. Now, what do you notice different about that folder and some of the other folders you see here? You could shout it out, you can think it.
It appears at the top because the date.
It appears at the top, yes. So it's up high because it's a number. So good, yes. What else do you notice about this folder right here?
The color and
Yeah, it's black. It's a black folder. It's not very exciting. There's one more thing also to notice about it.
that it
That
doesn't
look
have
at
a people icon, so it's not shared.
exactly, no people icon, so it's not shared. So when you see that little person icon, you could see that in the green, and I'll make it bigger. Do you see that right there in the green? There's a person. That means that that folder is shared. This one is not shared. So do you see those difference between those two? I'm gonna reset. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can start to change color of your folder so it stands out and how you can share it. So to change a color, you can do a right click on the folder. That's one of the ways. Go to organize information. But another way is you can highlight it and you can come to the three dots here. So if you notice, if I highlight it and I do a right click, I'm going to get this window. If I highlight it and I come to the three dots, I'm going to get the same window. A lot of times Google allows you to get to something in many, many different ways. So that's the many ways. Okay. So I'm going to organize this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color. So I'm going to make it a bright red. So do you see it's bright red? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to share it. So to share it, what I'm going to come down to where it says share and go over to share. Again, I could get there, do a right click and go to share as well and click on share. Okay. The nice thing about Google is sharing is going to be the same no matter what. So you're going to see how to share in this document and you're going to see how to share in this document. So the sharing is going to be the same regardless if you're doing Google Drive and a folder, Google Doc, if you're doing Google Drawings. The only kind of places it's different is in Google Forms. It's going to be different because you do collaborators in a form, not like shares. Okay. So I'm going to share this and I'm going to share this with Pamela Rabin. And here I get some options of what I want to do with that share. Do I want to make Pam an editor of that folder? Do I want to make her a viewer, which means she could just look at it? It's kind of like everything in there is a PDF. Or do I want to make her a commenter, a commenter? I'm just going to be really transparent with you. I just flew in from London last night at 10:30, so I'm exhausted. So a little tongue-tied, but commenter. So I can make her a viewer, commenter, or an editor. And then if I make her an editor, that gives her the highest priority. So I'm going to make her an editor and you can send a message and then send. So now Pam is a sharer. Now Pam is an editor of this. So now you can see it has the little person there. Let me make it big so you can see that. Do you see it has the little person now? Any questions about that?
Alicia, we just had one about the difference between shared drives and My Drive, and I did answer it in the chat, but I was also showing that workspaces could be an interesting way to organize your files. Do you have anything else that you want to add for anyone about the differences and ways to use it?
No, not really. I mean, people will share a drive with you. So this was like a full drive that somebody shared with me we were doing a summit. Um, I, I think that's good, Carrie. Thank you.
Alicia, can I ask a follow-up question on that?
Sure.
I was the one that asked the question. We did a training with you guys years and years ago, and you had said as an organization we could use shared drives as a school and put, like forms in there that people might access on a regular basis.
Mhm.
And then we moved to like a hub, an internal hub instead. And now there's stuff in both places. And I feel, so I'm just trying to figure out, like, as a best practice, is it better to have, or does it not really matter? Is there a time, is shared drive, how do you see schools using that internally, I guess, versus,
So good question, Renee. And I think things have really changed a lot since probably that philosophy came out.
yeah.
Because it seems like now what a lot of schools are doing is they're like maybe doing like a 7th grade Google Classroom and all the teachers are using that. And so people are doing a lot of different things. They're not, and that's kind of why I kind of hesitated when I'm like, yeah, it's shared drives. we're not really sharing drives that much anymore.
Okay,
We're,
perfect.
yeah, we're using like, I don't know if your school probably has a Google Classroom that maybe all the 7th grade English teachers have, or all
We
the,
do, yeah.
and that's what's happening now. So,
That's helpful.
okay, yeah, that's how I would tell you to, is probably a better practice.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And
All
you're a
right.
rock star for teaching after international travel.
Thanks. So yeah, that's that. I would probably not, I don't use shared drives that much anymore. I think they were really popular, but now with, especially with teaching, Google Classrooms seems to be a better way to share. Okay. So again, here is your drive. Now, a couple things I do want to show you. If you want to star something, you can go ahead and you can do the add to start. So if I want this to be a star, I'm going to go to those 3 dots, or I'm going to do a right click, and I'm going to star it. And do you see that star showed up after it? And that just means if I wanted to find it quickly, I could now find it here. The problem is sometimes you end up starring a lot of things and then it's not special. So you want to use your stars sparingly. So I'm going to remove this from the star. So again, I go to the 3 dots and I remove it. So you want to use your stars sparingly. You don't want to start everything. Once you're done with it, unstar it. Okay. The other thing I'm going to show you very quickly, because I don't want to run out of time, and we only have 30 minutes now for the drive or for docs. But what I do want to show you is the search up here. If you are like me, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to be very transparent, and I'm going to quickly show you, this is my Google Drive in my other one, and it is just an ongoing 13 years of document mess. It is, I don't know how many things I have in there. It is a true mess. But the reason why I'm able to find things is through this search engine. So what I love about this, Google is known for searching. It's Google. It was made as a search engine. They have applied that same type of technology to finding things in your drive. So let's say I'm looking for something on, I don't know if I have something on pandas. No, I know I have something on Paris. Okay, so I know I have things on Paris. Okay, so I just typed in Paris and it brings me up all of these documents that I actually have the word Paris in. So my week in Paris. So that's something really nice about it. If you even don't know the name of the document, but you know you were talking about something, you can start your search there. If you come to these lines on the side of your search, do you see that? You click on that, you're going to start getting more options of searching. So you can say, I think it was a document. I owned it. It had the word Paris. And it was probably in, I'm going to say 2001. And I don't know. So I'm kind of giving it these, and then I can do a search, and there it found it. And it weeded everything else out. So that is a really, really good tool that you'll be able to use in your drive. So if you have a drive that's very old and you just didn't organize it the way you wanted to, you're saved because of the search. Any questions about that? Any questions about Drive in general? Because we're going to move away from Drive right now. Terry? Do you have a question? I saw you unmuted yourself. No? You're good? Okay. Carrie, are we okay? Everybody's good?
All good here.
Okay. All right. So now we're going to be moving on to the Google Docs document. So again, if you want to print this, everything I'm going to go over is going to be in this, but there's going to be a lot more as well. Okay, so couple things. There's a couple ways you can start your new doc. And the first way you can do it, which is one of the easiest ways, is if you start in your Drive and you go down to Google Doc. And you're going to see this. You could go to blank doc or you'll go to templates. I'm just going to show you both of them right now. And we'll talk a little bit about the templates later, but I want to show you what's there. So you could go to blank doc here, and then here's a blank document. All right. Or you can go to new templates from template. Now, I love templates for a couple reasons. For some of you, your school or your district may have preloaded a bunch of templates for you. SDCOE has those. Let me see if I can show you here. If I go here to new template. Oh, I think they might have taken them out because we're supposed to be using Microsoft at SDCOE a little more. So maybe my templates aren't there. But your district may have templates that you could use. So a template could be like a letterhead, or a template could be maybe it's a parent flyer or something like that that they want you to use. But the real beauty of the templates is the general. If you click here, you're going to see there are a lot of pre-made templates that you can just use. So they have things for education, they have letters, resumes, all sorts of stuff. So it's just a really good wealth of information. This is what I always show my students, is that it has the templates for reports. So if you see this, I'm going to make this big so you can see it. It has an MLA template. So if you have them writing an MLA, it has an APA 6th and 7th template. It has book reports. So it has a lot that students can use, and it's really helpful. So please keep in mind that that is there for your students. Any questions about that? Okay, so again, I showed you how to get there. You could go to new Google Docs, but I'm going to show you a really quick shortcut, because a lot of times we're busy and we don't have time to maybe go to Drive. It's not open. So something that you could do is, if you just have an open page, you can just type in docs.new. And it opens up a new doc for you. So that's kind of a really nice little shortcut. You could also type in, if you don't want to do the shortcut, you could do doc.google.com, and that will take you to this page, and then you can start a new document, and it will also show you your most recent ones. Okay, so that's in that document. Any questions about that? Okay, we're going to be in a new document to start with, and there's a couple new things that I really like about it. But the first thing you always want to do when you're in a new document is you want to title it. And again, be really cognizant of what you title so things don't start getting lost. So to title, you just double click on the untitled document, and you can type in sample or whatever you want to do. I'm actually going to type in calendar. Because I want to show you a couple things on it. Okay. Now, the newest thing that you see are tabs here. It's not an advanced feature, but I'm going to show it to you in a little bit. Okay. But what I would like to show you now is I'm going to do a calendar, but I'm going to change the orientation of my paper. So right here, I am going to go to File, and I'm going to go to page setup, and I am going to make this landscape because right now it's portrait, but I'm going to go landscape, and I'm going to click OK. And do you see how it's now changed my paper? Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in calendar at the top. Now, one of the nice things about Google, and this is also in Word, this is in a lot of places. If you look right here, it says normal text. I want this to be a title. I want it to be larger. So I'm going to highlight calendar, and I'm going to click on title and apply title, and it makes it bigger. So do you see what happens? It gives me on the side the tab, which is nice. It's now kind of, think of the tabs as making it like a table of contents right there. So you're kind of creating this table of contents on the side. All right. So I want a calendar, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my own calendar. So to do that, I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to go to Table. So again, I'm going to create a calendar. I'm going to go to Insert, Table. And here I can make my table as big as I want. So it's going to be a week-long calendar. So there it is. Is everybody with me so far? Okay. Now when you insert a table, you can start typing in your days. So here I've typed them in, and then here I'm going to put time, and then I'll put AM, PM. Okay. Any questions about how I did that? So again, what I did is I went up to Insert, Table, and then I created it. For this, what I did is I typed in calendar and I made it a title. Do you see how it's title? Now, up here, you'll see that says title, and this says normal text. If I wanted to turn this into something different besides normal text, if I want to start organizing this calendar, I could highlight this and make this a subtitle, which is a lot smaller. So do you see how it kind of changes it? Everybody with me? Any questions about that? Okay. Now, another thing that you can do in Google is if I'm doing this, what I could do is I can also highlight this title. So I'm going to highlight right here, and I could go to my paint bucket, and I'll make this larger so you can see. If it's large and you don't see the paint bucket, mine just disappeared. I could come to these 3 dots, and it's going to open it up under here. But if I wanted to come to my paint bucket, I could just click here, and I can highlight that and change the color. Does everybody see how I did that? So also you can see my entire menu bar came back, but sometimes when it's hidden, you're only going to get these 3 dots, and that's how you'll get your entire menu bar. I have a lot of people say, oh, something happened. I don't have the entire menu bar. And that's why. It's probably your screen's not big enough and you want to go to those 3 dots. All right. How's everybody doing? Everybody with me? Okay. Now to show you a couple other things that you can do in Google. One of my favorite things is if you have students who are working and they're sharing something. So how many times have you had students and you have them working on a group project? And I'm going to share this with Carrie right now. see. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I won't be able to share it because I don't know if do you have an Innovate?
I do.
S-
It's Clane, CLANE at Innovate.
Oh, okay. There you are. Okay. I'm going to share this with Carrie. And Carrie, I'm going to ask you to hop in real quick.
Will do.
Thank you. And when Carrie hops in, what you're going to do is you're going to see she will show up in this corner, the top right corner. So you see I'm in there, I have an A, and Carrie will show up and she'll have a C. I believe it'll be a C. Okay, Carrie's in. Okay, Carrie, what I'd like you to do is go ahead and do some writing on something. Just put a sentence, but make your font kind of funny. Do something different with your font. So as you can see, Carrie's in there and she just changed her font all around. And then I'm going to write something underneath hers. Or above, I'm going to put the calendar is fun to make in Google Docs. Okay. So how many of you have students and you have them both working on the paper at the same time, and you have situations like this where the font, there's all sorts of different fonts, or maybe they're copying out of something and it's a different font and you're like, I just want everything standard. Any of you have that? So I'm going to show you how you can tell your students how to standardize it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cursor right here. This is the font that I want it to look like. I don't want it to be blue and cursive. So I'm going to put my font here. I'm going to come up here to this paintbrush. So look what my cursor looks like there. It's a big green cursor. But when I come up to this paintbrush, it's now a paintbrush cursor. Does everybody see that? And I'm going to highlight the text that I want to change. So I'm highlighting it and look and see what happens. It has now changed it so it is the exact same font. So again, let me show you again how to do that. So let's say I loved this blue one. I think it's very pretty. So I'm going to click someplace in that sentence. So I have that font. I'm going to drag my cursor up to the paintbrush, click on it. When I pull it down, my cursor is now a paintbrush, and I'm going to highlight this. And do you see it? It now has adopted it. Okay. So that's a really cool feature that you can do that keeps everything uniform looking. Any questions about that? Okay. How am I doing on time? All right, we have about 15 minutes left. Okay, so another thing I'm going to show you is if you share your Google Doc, you can come over here. Does everybody see where it says editing? You can come over here and go to the drop down, and you can, as a teacher, and this is something that I love as a teacher, I can be in editing mode. I could be in suggesting mode. I'm going to click on suggesting and show what happens. So if I'm in suggesting, what I could do is highlight this, or actually I'm going to change. I'm going to say, I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to delete it. I'm going to say change instead of updated. So it says the calendar feature can be changed. instead of updated. So that's what I love about that suggesting. So if you're helping to edit with your students and you go to suggested, they'll see the change that you made, and then they can come here to see where it has the check or the X and click on the X, which means accepted. So if I accept it, do you see how that took over? But if I reject it and close it, it goes back. So you get that through that suggesting. But if I am in editing, what I have is I can click on that updated and I can come here to comments and I can add a comment and say, maybe use a different word comment. And so you're not telling the student use changed, you're saying, think about a different word. So are you seeing the difference between editing and suggesting? Any questions about that? Okay, so that's something that I very much love. Another feature that I think people really like in Google is if you come to File and you come to version history, and you can look and see all the version history. So as I used to be an English teacher, and as an English teacher, I used to sometimes have students all do a group project, do a group, essay. And I always got students who would say, Ms. Gallegos, I did all the work and so did not do any of the work. Well, with the version history, what's nice is you can see what everybody does. Everybody has a color. I'm green, Carrie's purple. I could even break it down so I can see it in more detail. How I got that is, do you see how there's that arrow? And I'll make it a little bigger. There's that, it's kind of like an inverted arrow. It's up and I just see, oh, Alicia did this, Carrie did that. But if I want to get into the nitty gritty, I click on that and I can see, okay, Alicia made this change. Okay, Carrie did this at 4:43. So I can start to break it down even more. I could even name, if I clicked on those 3 dots, I can name the version of this. So if I want this to be version 1, or if I want to make a copy of this version, because I'm going to be working on some other versions, I can do that. So there's a lot of play that you can do with this. It's a really great feature and people really like it. How many of you have used this in your classes before? You could do a thumb up or, yeah, a couple of you.
Similar versions, but it's so great when the kids see your comments.
Yeah, and I like it though, because students can also see the progress that they've made. So they can go back to like one of the first versions and be like, oh my gosh, I wasn't really even doing the research, and now look how good it's gotten. And nothing's ever lost. That's another thing that I love in it. Nothing's ever lost. So a lot of times if you wrote something really great maybe 2 days ago and then you deleted it, let's say, because you thought it wasn't good, but then you're like, oh, that actually would fit in really good here. You could always go back to that version, copy that section, and then bring it in. So no version's lost, even if you delete something, which is a really great feature. Now, the thing that most people get confused about is how do you get out of it? So you click on the arrow and that will get you out. So here you're out of it. Okay. So again, to get there, you go to version history and then you're there. All right, we have about 9 minutes left. So I'm going to show you a couple other things that I really like here. Okay, so we'll just go down the menu. And again, everything is here as well. Now, one thing that if you wanted to make a template out of something that you created, you can always go to make a copy. And then if you make a copy, you could call this template. It won't be in the template gallery, but this is how I make templates of things that I use all the time. And I just call it template and then I do my search for it. So, and then you can share the same comment. It asks you, do you want to share with the same people, etc. Okay, so that's one thing that I love about it. Another thing that you can do is you can always download it, and you can download it as all of these different things. So at my work, we do like to use Microsoft Word, but I'm so used to Google a lot, and I do a lot better in Google. So a lot of times I'll create something in Google, and then what I'll do is I will download it into a Microsoft Word. So that is something really nice. You could also download it as a PDF. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with it. Questions about that? Okay. Language. This is one that's kind of controversial, but I do like to show it. It will translate. It's not great, but it's okay. So I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to, oh, did it go away? No, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to see if it will translate into Espanol. Did it? It didn't do it.
Alicia, you can also do that from tools and then translate.
There, translate document. Choose language. Thank you. I'm going to do oh, my Espanol went away, but it's in Spanish. Let me go to Spanish. Hold on. It is. It's actually getting better now. So it wasn't, but see, it took my AM and said soy, like I'm instead of AM. So you do have to kind of look at it. I actually now, for a lot of my translations, use Google or use ChatGPT because it's really good. But this is, you can translate a document, have a native speech speaker look at it after you do it, though. But it's better than nothing. But look to see what your school says about that. Okay, so then we get into edit. So one thing that I really like about edit is this paste without formatting. A lot of times, if I'm copying something from like the website or if I'm copying something from someplace, what I'll ask it to do is paste without formatting. So it kind of it strips it and it just puts the text in it. And I really like that. So I wanted to show that to you. So know that that's there. Another thing is find and replace. So find and replace is a really great tool. And so a lot of times, like if I wanted to find every place that the word calendar was, and then I can have it replace with table. I'm just making that up. So I'm going to say replace all. So as you can see, it replaces that. I use that. One of the ways that I do use it is I'm Gen X. And in Gen X, when we were typing, we learned how to type. We always put two spaces after a period. And that's no longer what we are supposed to do. So I sometimes still do that. And then I'll go find and replace. So I'll tell it I'll do period. And then I'll tell it to change it to period 1 space, and then it will replace it all. It'll go through and replace everything. So I use it in different ways, but it's a good tool to mess around with. All right. Then you have your views, which are, you can view comments, all of that. But insert is also a really good thing. So I often use insert for images. So you can do it, search the web, you can search your drive, you can search your photos, upload from a computer, We inserted a table. I like people to be able to see that. Drawings is also good. You can insert drawings, symbols, etc. You also, this is where you're going to have your page breaks. I cannot tell you how important it is to use page breaks when you're creating long documents. So again, you want to be cognizant of that. And you have your section breaks as well. Okay. Then formatting. Formatting again, this is very similar to what you may have used in all your other word processing, but I want to make sure you know it's there. And then you have your tools. You also have your citations. We're not going to have time to go through that today, but I do encourage you to look at that. And I think that is in this document. But believe it or not, an hour has already gone by. It went by fast. So before we end, do I have any questions or is there anything somebody would like me to show you? Okay. Well, please go back and you want to get the 2 job aids because those are the tools that we went through everything. You can always contact us if you have questions. This will be up on our YouTube page as well. And that concludes us for tonight. So thank you very much.